dis-ease, something that we all go through with all our family members. You know, our grandma has cancer, our dad has, prostate cancer like mine did, sickle cell anemia, diabetes, type 1 and type 2, blindness, herpes, AIDS, the list goes on. Autism, of all the ailments we are facing as human beings, but we're supposed to be the most intelligent. So there's obviously a contradiction or somewhere where we went wrong, because there is no way that the Creator, the Most High, Yah, is going to put these ailments on us, right? And when you think about it like that, it's like, what have we done that has gone against the cosmic arrangement of His creation? And you really start to think and you see paved roads, buildings, perfect shapes, squares, rectangles. In nature, everything is not perfect. It's got curves, but we're living in this world of consumerism where everything has to be perfect. And that's the contradiction, is we're going against the cosmic arrangement of life through philosophy. And we see with disease, it's the same thing. We are dying with disease because our philosophy of what we created, which we deem as healthy and nutritious for the human body. But when you start to dissect that on a biochemist level and take a look at history, you see that we are far, far away from where we're truly supposed to be. And that's through all 5 senses, from eating, our environment, smell, taste, touch, hear, sound, everything, even what we're listening to. So when we're talking about the diet, and we say that chicken, beef, lamb, hog, dairy, when we say that's good because it has calcium, milk has calcium for our bones, and meat has, essential protein to build up our body. It has amino acids. Right there in that name, we see where the problem is. Acids. And that's where this starts. If you want to know how to cure any disease, you have to know alkalinity versus acid. Acid will kill. It will destroy the cells. It will destroy the body. When you look at the pH scale, ranging from 0 to 14, 7 is neutral. Anything below 7 is acidic. Anything above 7 is alkaline. So now, as trying to follow the cosmic arrangement of life, we use our machinery to test the herbs and the foods that were not consistent with life. Any foods that test as acidic are simply not consistent with life, because why? They don't contain 3 main things: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. The CHO arrangement, as the Chinese call it. And all this information comes from the great healer, Dr. Sebi. I'm just repeating his message and passing it forward to you in my own internal dialogue and the way I think. So, when we look at these acidic foods, we start to look on a biochemist level of what they're doing to the body. And we find that God would never create a substance that contains starch. Starch will eat your cells alive, and when you feed a dog starch, or when you feed a human starch, or you feed anybody starch, it will listen to your commands. So this is where everything is connected. Because when you feed someone something that they're begging you for, and they're listening to your commands to get that, Now they have power over you, over your mind, which is really your brain. There is no such thing as the mind, your body, and your spirit. In order to have full control over that and your life, the first step is the diet. You cannot say you have full control over your consciousness and your life if you are not in control of what you are eating, because then that will control you. Just like our mom said, what you eat, you will become, right? In the Bible, it says the herbs are for the healing of the nation. So what does that mean? God knew we were going to make mistakes. He knew it. Everything happens for a reason. If it didn't happen, it wasn't supposed to happen. So what does that mean? We can utilize the herbs that He placed on planet Earth for us to heal our bodies. But here's the problem. We go to the allopathic medicine and we go to holistic doctors in the United States here. But they still are not yielding results. I can talk all I want all day long about this and that, scientific, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm not having testimonies, if you're not having testimonies, then what are we really listening to? And that's why I give my great honor to Dr. Sebi, because he went to court in the 1980s and he proved with 70 diagnostic sheets of people that he cured every disease known to man. Well, almost. And that right there shows that we should be listening to results and not words coming out of mouth. Talk is cheap, actions is the real. When you see people putting it into action, that's when you know, right? A lot of people you see here on the social media world and this AI world, they're not who they truly seem. And that goes back to the diet. If we have a clear mind and we're eating alkaline plants and alkaline foods, we will be able to decipher truth from false 1,000 times easier. Because our brain is not indoctrinated into a system that is begging for what our parents gave us, not because they didn't love us, but because they didn't know any better. So when we go back to the herbs that God placed on earth, we have to be very careful, because the ones that these people are using in America, in the holistic American community, they're offering things such as aloe vera, peppermint, comfrey. All of these things are hybrids. They were made by man. They are acidic. They will destroy the cells. They will create a state called acidosis, and they will compromise the mucous membrane of our biological structures. This means that not only will the acids come in and eat away at the cells, they will strip the mineral and oxygen away from the body, and that's where disease forms. The result of that is excess mucus in the body. So, the whole point of eating alkaline is to reverse the mucus and to feed the body with the minerals at the same time. An intracellular cleansing and then an intracellular revitalization. Two-step process to heal any disease. It's that simple. I don't care if you have stage 4 cancer and they say you have 10 days left to live, you still have hope. It's all about you. And that's what it really comes down to. The herbs will heal, but only if you believe. The Most High will lead you right down the right path, only if you believe. And that's the true power of who we are. We are creating and shifting what is happening with this universe, with the Most High's creation. So you best believe I'm going to make sure it's righteous. I don't care about money. I don't care about followers, and you shouldn't either. Because, man, we want our Rolex watch, we want our Lamborghinis, and we want our Ferrari cars and our big homes. But why are you going to buy a big home when you're the only one living in it? It just seems selfish, right? If we were to explain things to where a baby could understood it, just like Bob Marley said, then the world would be a lot better place. But no, they put us in philosophy, which is a school system that indoctrinates you from the start. So what do? They teach you fake history. They teach you the food pyramid, which will strip nutrients from your body and not give nutrients. They give you just enough information for you to communicate so you can work their machines. And this is the problem with school. And this is why nature is so important. Because God created it. Man created school. I don't want to do with what man created. Because that's his thought of where he thinks life should go. But he's living in God's creation. So I'm going to go with God. And I'm going to live in nature, his creation, as much as I possibly can. And everything I do will move towards that direction and move people in that direction. And this is what we call purpose. He works in mysterious ways, but one thing I will tell you is that no matter what you do, if you have an unrighteous mindset, which is very common in this American society or just worldwide society with how we are living currently, then you will pay the karmic debt for that. God knows what you're doing. The universe knows what you're doing. But then again, we go back to the herbs. The herbs are for the healing of the nation. Like I said, we need to be careful deciphering what we're putting in our body and really research it. Take herbs, travel to Mexico, travel to Honduras, travel to Jamaica, travel to the Caribbean, and find the herbs yourself, communicate with people, get on their same vibration, take the herbs with you, send them to a certified US lab, and test the pH. Start to create your own list, your own foods, right? Dr. Sebi went to Mexico and found teosinte, which is the natural corn. Now corn is literally grown with GMOs and pesticides inside of their DNA so bugs don't come and eat it. And that's all the farmland that Bill Gates owns. He's creating those hybrid crops, which destroy the mucous membrane and the cells of our body, depleting us. That's why at 50 people have skin tags. They look like their skin's falling off of them. They look terrible. They're overweight. They're diabetic from all the sugars and the maltose ester and corn syrup, which is just corn, right? All these processed foods, at the end of the day, a lot of them consume soy, sugar, and corn. All starch. All detrimental to the mental, especially, obviously the body, but the mental. You'll worship them. You'll do anything they say because you're under the construct of starch and carbonic acid and uric acid from the meat and lactic acid from the dairy and phytic acid from the beans. It's not right. That's not how the body should operate. When you wake up, the body should be, man, I feel good today. I feel alive. But no, we wake up, man, I gotta go to my job. I gotta go to my job. I'm not even gonna have enough time to eat out the door. 10-minute lunch break. Just working for someone else, slaving away. No time for myself. And that's how we're waking up. Because we grew up indoctrinated into their system. If we grew up outside of that and we learned it from a young age, we would have started our own movements. And this is the problem. We have lack of knowledge. See, if you are in the position of this knowledge and you have knowledge to heal people, but you look at someone and you make fun or you laugh at them for not knowing the knowledge you have, and then you get mad at them for making fun of you for saying what you're saying, because that happens a lot, right? People like to make fun, oh, alkaline vegan, you're not getting this and that in your diet, right? When they do that, you have to really internalize and understand where that position is coming from. It's coming from a lack of knowledge. So of course they're going to defend the position that they learned in the books, right? So to cure any disease, we cannot go to the books. We cannot do, sitting down in a chair research to figure out how to cure disease, because it will not happen. You have to go in person. You have to pick out the herbs. You have to feel it. You have to smell it. You have to take it on your own body. See how it makes you feel. Test it in a lab. Because unfortunately, thousands and thousands of years ago, we didn't have to test herbs because the only thing in our environment was what? Alkalinity. There was no acid. But when man came in and messed with the cosmic arrangement of life, that is when acid was introduced. And that is when disease started with Imhotep I in Kemet or Egypt. And what did he do? He used herbs to heal the people. Same thing with Claudio Galeno in Greek. And we had Jesus. They all used herbs to cure every disease known to man. That's what our history shows. I explained to you the history, the biochemistry, and the indoctrination of the mind of how disease is starting through mind control from the start of this philosophy-based lifestyle that's learned from a book. The best book you can ever read is Mother Nature. Why is that? Because she comes on time. She comes right on time every single year. The birds pick it up in their feathers and they move on, they migrate. But we're stuck in the same cubicle. We're disassociating our bodies with the natural flow. So of course, that will lead to disease as well. We are putting 5G radiation. We are putting artificial light. And all these things, like I said, through the 5 senses, it's not just what we eat, it's what we consume. Who we're listening to, right? You listening to this message is coming from a righteous standpoint. I want you to heal. I want you to heal your family. And I want this video to be the main leading factor that makes you say, I really got to change my life around. I got to save myself. I got to save my family. And I got to get more connected with the Most High, because only then I will be able to decipher the people who are leading me the wrong way. And trust me, I was there too. I was in the spot where I was listening to all these spiritual soul and these fake woke community people who are really worshiping bad people. So please, get your diet right, because it can help you decipher who is speaking truth and false. This new woke new world order, these people are mixing false and truth, and it's so hard to decipher when you're not focused and clear-minded. But the only way you can do that is getting rid of the starch, getting rid of the acid, getting rid of, the alcohol. Don't let anything that takes over your consciousness should be excreted from your life. Anything that makes you feel a certain way, that feels off, or it feels like it's controlling you, it should be out of your life. So, this is not to say I want you to do all these things at once, because we have to take it one step at a time. And you have to believe in yourself and the journey, because only then it will happen. It does not matter what you are trying to achieve. It will come to fruition when God has intended it to. You have to learn patience, and you have to learn how to give up the instant gratification. And it starts with the food. I keep saying it. So, with that being said, this is your time. This is your time to really take control of what you are feeding your mind, body, and soul, and what your future is going to create for others around you and yourself. May we heal other people. One love. And I love y'all, man. Peace out. Nature is beautiful.